Welcome to the On-Premise IT Podcast, the only podcast that dares to be both on topic and on location. My name is Tom Hollingsworth, and I am a part of Gestalt IT, and each episode we bring you the perspectives and opinions of a group of IT luminaries, experts in their field, on a variety of topics, but one in particular, a specific premise, if you will. I want to introduce our guests today before we jump into the premise of this episode, starting with Zoe.
Hello, my name is Zoe, and I have been in security for longer than I probably want to admit. And you can follow me on Twitter at RoseSecOps or on Mastodon, rosesec at techfieldday.net.
Hey, I'm Dominik Pickhardt. I'm at Twitter at Network Autobahn, and you can also follow my blog at networkautobahn.com. I'm also, like Zoe, for a long time in the IT security industry. Yeah, have seen a lot and have been around a lot.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us today. Let's jump into the premise for this episode. With a couple of security experts, we want to talk about something super secure and ultra important. And what could be more important than XDR? The three letters that are probably driving your security team nuts right now. It's a brand new idea about the way that security should be integrated across systems and used to prevent attacks and automatically respond to intruders. But is it just something that the security team needs to worry about? Because the more you dig into XDR, the more you realize that this is not just some tool that you can deploy over a weekend. There's a lot of care and feeding that goes into it. And so the premise for this episode is that XDR isn't just for your security team. So I want to open the floor real quick to our guests, because as it is in all kinds of fast evolving technologies, sometimes we get these terms and we don't actually know what they mean. So who would like to define what XDR is for our audience?
So I think XDR is hard. It's one of these acronyms. Every vendor has a bit of different understanding. For me, it's kind of the idea to have integrated security solutions that work together. That is the idea, not to have a single product that is just covering one attack vector, to have a whole strategy of tools, a whole, let's say, army of tools that all work together combined, and then making this security. I think in the past was one of the big challenges that these different tools just were existing in bubbles. Yeah.
And I think that that's an important point, because one of the things that, if you ask any security practitioner, they'll tell you is that security, more than any other discipline, is probably well defined by the tools that we deploy to operate it, whether it's things like data loss prevention or identity access management. There's whole categories, subsets, if you will, and they all kind of work their own way, but they don't talk to each other. And that's why we had to create higher level tools like SIEM and SOAR to be able to kind of aggregate that data. So you're saying that XDR is a way to kind of build